In 1 year, this man ate 174 cats. Not the skins, not the bones, everything else. And cats were not the strangest thing he ate. He ate candles, 12 at a time, wick and all. He ate rats he caught in his own prison cell. He ate grass by the armful when there was nothing else left. And one afternoon, standing on the deck of a warship in the middle of a battle, he picked up a man's severed leg and started eating that too. This is not a legend. It is not a folk tale someone made up. It happened in 1799. British Navy doctors sat in a room and watched him eat. They wrote down every single thing he swallowed hour by hour and signed their names to it. His name was Charles Domery, and more than 200 years later, nobody has ever been able to explain what was wrong with him. Charles Domery was born around 1778 in a village in Poland called Bench. He was one of 9 brothers, and here is the first strange thing. According to Domery, all 9 of them ate like this. His father too. The man reportedly ate his meat half raw, half boiled because he could not stand to wait for it to finish cooking. So whatever this was, Domery was not the only one in that house who had it. But in Domery, it was worse. He said it started when he was 13 years old. His town was under siege. The food ran out. Everyone around him was starving, and that part is normal. That is what sieges do. What happened next was not normal, because when the siege ended and the food came back, everyone else stopped being hungry. Domery never did. As a young man, Domery joined the Prussian Army. It did not go well. Not because he was a bad soldier. By every account, he was healthy, strong, and well-behaved. The problem was the food. Prussian army rations were designed to feed a grown man. They fed Domery for about an hour. So Domery did something almost no soldier in history has done for this reason. He deserted and walked across the lines to the enemy. He did not switch sides for money. He did not switch sides for politics or a cause or a flag. He joined the French Revolutionary Army because he heard they fed their men better. That is the whole reason. He changed armies for lunch. The French gave him double rations immediately. They could see the problem. It was not enough. His fellow soldiers started giving him their own food out of their own portions, and that was not enough either. So while stationed at an army camp near Paris, Charles Domery started hunting. Over the course of 1 year, he caught and ate 174 cats. We know the number is that exact because his fellow soldiers were asked about it separately and they confirmed it. One of them, a man named Picard, described how it worked. Sometimes Domery killed the cat first, and sometimes, when the hunger was bad enough, he did not wait. Picard put it carefully. He said Domery bore the marks of it on his face and his hands. He ate dogs he found dead. He ate live rats. He ate the discarded guts of cattle and sheep that even a starving camp threw away. And when there was no meat at all, he ate grass, 4 to 5 pounds of it every day, which raises a question the doctors would later find very strange, because Domery did not actually like vegetables. He avoided them when he had a choice. He was not eating grass because he wanted grass. He was eating grass because he had to put something in. In October 1798, Domery was serving aboard a French warship called the Osh off the coast of Ireland. The British Navy caught them. A squadron under Sir John Borlase Warren attacked, and the Osh was overwhelmed. During the fighting, a crewman was hit and his leg was torn away. In the middle of a battle, with cannons firing and men dying around him, Charles Domery walked over, picked up the severed leg, and began to eat it. His own crewmates had to physically wrestle it out of his hands and throw it into the sea. The account, written afterwards, did not soften it. It said they tore him off it like a hyena from his prey. The ship fell. Domery was taken prisoner. And now, for the first time in his life, Charles Domery was about to be studied by people who wrote things down. The prisoners were shipped to a camp near Liverpool. British prisoner of war rations were fixed by law. About 1.5 pounds of bread a day, half a pound of vegetables, and a little butter or cheese. Domery went through it and asked for more. So the guards doubled it. Still hungry. They raised it again. Still hungry. They kept raising it. They stopped when Charles Domery was eating the daily rations of 10 grown men. He was still hungry, so he handled it himself. He ate the prison cat. He ate about 20 rats that wandered into his cell. He ate the camp's candles. And then there is the detail that tells you how far this went. In the prison infirmary, sick prisoners were given medicine and some of them did not want to take it. Domery took it for them. He swallowed other men's medication, doses of it, drugs meant for illnesses he did not have. It did not affect him at all. Now stop and picture this man. If you are imagining someone enormous, someone gigantic and swollen, you have him completely wrong. Charles Domery was 6'3". He was lean, pale skin, long brown hair. Physically, the doctors said there was nothing unusual about him at all. His personality was not strange either. He was described as pleasant, good-tempered, easy to be around. He got on well with the other prisoners. He was a perfectly normal, healthy, likable young man who could not stop eating and could not be filled. That contrast is exactly why the doctors could not let it go. There was nothing to see, no swelling, no illness, no deformity, nothing on the outside that explained anything. So they decided to find the limit. The prison commander reported Domery to the Sick and Hurt Commissioners, the body that oversaw medical care for the Royal Navy. They sent Dr. J. Johnston. He brought in Dr. Thomas Cochrane, a fellow of the Royal College of Physicians. They gathered witnesses. An admiral, his son, the prison agent, and other respectable men who could confirm what they saw. On the 17th of September 1799 they began. 4 in the morning. They woke him. They gave him 4 pounds of raw cow's udder. He ate it without hesitating. Raw. 9:30. 5 pounds of raw beef. 12 large tallow candles. 1 bottle of porter. He finished it within the hour. Johnston watched how he ate the beef and wrote this down. The eagerness with which he attacks his beef, he wrote, resembles the voracity of a hungry wolf, tearing off and swallowing it with canine greediness. And then Johnston recorded the candles, and this is the part that stays with you. When his throat got dry, Domery used the candles to grease it. He stripped the fat off with his teeth and swallowed it in 3 mouthfuls. Then he rolled the wick up into a tight ball, string and all, and sent it down after. He was not eating the candles for food, he was using them as lubricant. 1 in the afternoon, 5 more pounds of beef, another pound of candles, 3 more large bottles of porter. 2 o'clock. Domery was standing around chatting with 2 friends, cheerful, most of the candles gone, most of the beef gone. 6:15. He finished everything on the table, said he had had enough for now, and asked to go back to his cell. Add it up. In one day, in front of witnesses, Charles Domery ate roughly 16 pounds of raw udder, raw beef, and tallow candles, and drank 4 bottles of porter. Here is what the doctors could not explain. Across that entire day, Charles Domery did not vomit. He did not urinate. He did not defecate, not once. His pulse stayed steady the whole time. His skin stayed cool. He never broke a sweat, never looked ill, never showed a single sign of strain. 16 pounds of raw meat and candle fat went into a man, and his body behaved as though nothing had happened at all. And when they let him go back to his quarters that evening, he danced, he smoked his pipe, and he drank 1 more bottle of porter before bed. The honest answer is that we still do not know what was wrong with him. The obvious explanation is hyperthyroidism. An overactive thyroid can drive enormous appetite and burn weight off fast. That fits some of it. Another theory from historian Jan Bonderson points at the brain, damage to the amygdala, or a small region called the ventromedial nucleus. In animals, injuries to those areas can switch off the sense of being full permanently. The animal keeps eating because the signal that says stop never arrives. But nobody could ever prove it in Domery, because to prove it, you need an autopsy. And there was only one other man in history documented at this level, a Frenchman named Tarare, who lived at almost exactly the same time and did almost exactly the same things. Tarare was autopsied. Domery was not. And there is no modern case on record that comes close to him. Nothing since. Not one. Here is how the story of Charles Domery ends. In 1800, the war paperwork went through and the prisoners were released. Charles Domery walked out of that camp, 22 years old, 6'3", pleasant, good-tempered, and still hungry. And then history simply loses him. No record of where he went, no record of what he did, no record of whether he lived another 50 years or died the following winter. No grave anyone has ever found. The most extraordinary eater ever documented by medical science walked out of a prison camp in Liverpool and vanished into an ordinary crowd. Everything we know about him, the 174 cats, the leg on the deck, the candles, the 16 pounds, comes from one report written by one doctor in 1 year of that man's life. Whatever Charles Domery was, we caught him for a moment and then we lost him.